Hey guys, just wanted to make a video to explain the process to import a playlist bundle for your Propresenter, your graphics and video for your Sunday services. I realized that I hadn't made a video for this yet, and this is something that would really be handy. I'm in the Bayview Chapel campus of Watermark Wesleyan right now. This campus, I typically do this, but it would be good for you to know how to do this, and anyone else that's interested in this or wants to adapt this workflow. I think I have another video that kind of goes a little bit more in depth on our workflow and how we do things, but basically I create the content on my machine that has Propresenter on it. I put all the content in that's needed for all of our campuses, and then upload that to Dropbox, and then each campus downloads it and imports it into Propresenter, and then just kind of sheds whatever content they don't need. So if there's like a slide for whatever event, fundraiser, youth thing or whatever, but you're not doing it at your campus and you're not going to use that slide, you can either just not click it or you can delete it out of the playlist. So I will show you the Propresenter end of things, how to import on the receiving end of this and how to get it into your machine in case you don't know how, or you get stuck, or you just want a refresher. So all I've done right now is I've just opened up Propresenter, and so you can see right over here in the playlist options, there's two playlists from previous weekends, and then there's another event, Reengage, that has a playlist in here. That will ignore the Reengage one. These ones are from past Sundays. So we just go ahead and delete these. So I click on it, hit delete, and then Unstoppable, hit delete. So now it's just down to the Reengage event, which we will leave in. And so now what we'll do is go into Finder, and then go to our Dropbox. And then inside of here, the way the folder hierarchy is laid out is there's a bunch of stuff you do not need to worry about or touch. Click on Weekends, and then scroll down to the bottom, and then there's this folder here that says Weekend Experience Content. It's closed in here because it's not big enough, but it says Weekend Experience Content, and that's broken down by date. And there's a couple other things on the bottom that you don't need to worry about, but you just need to look for the date that you're looking for, which would be this Sunday. So we're looking at 4/25, and then then we want to look for Unstoppable. And so you can see that's a series we're in. Unstoppable Midnight Prayers is the specific title for that week, and then the date. You can see it's almost 8 gigs, so it's a pretty hefty file. We have a bit of video content in this series, some video loops for our message slides, so it sucked up a bit of space. It's normally around 2 or 3 gigs, maybe 4 if you're pushing it. But so this process, if you just take this and click and drag it into the playlist and just let go, it takes a second. Depending on the speed of your machine, this might take a while. And so then what comes up is this dialog. It has the name of the file, so Who You Say I Am, the key of F, that Propresenter. So that's a song project, or song, what's it called? It's not called a project. It's a song file. It has all the slides for song lyrics. It's pretty much just saying this already exists in the library. Do you want to replace it? Do you want to add a new version or skip over it? We want to always write over, and so we just hit apply to all. Make sure that's ticked because there's going to be multiple versions of this, like different songs and whatever. Hit write over, and that's going to come up again. And I think this one is because it's a video file. This is just a motion background, so we want to do apply to all and write over. What's happening is when you drag this playlist in, it's copying it into the library, and so that's why it's asking about, do you want to write over it, add a new version of it, or skip it. So we want to just write it over so it's accurate. We don't need multiple versions of the same thing. These machines, the content after the Sunday happens is dumped. Like we don't delete it, but it's not necessary to keep it for archival or for pulling for a future service because it's rebuilt every time from our My Machine. My Machine kind of holds all of the master library. So what's getting copied into the other campus's libraries is just kind of a scratch disk, like it doesn't matter. It's just there to operate for that Sunday, and then it can be deleted if you wanted to. So anyway, we have this in here. We see a lot of stuff in this playlist, a lot of duplicates, and there's duplicate content inside of each one of these projects, or what is it called? I can't think of what it's called. Anyway, each one of the sections here. Okay. The first thing I would suggest is going through your playlist and getting rid of what you don't need. So in this case, I'm in our Bayview Chapel, and they do their own songs because it's a liturgical service. So these are all the contemporary songs that I have put in for our other campuses are not needed. So we can just simply click on the song and hit delete, and then just kind of go through this and delete each one of these that we don't need. You'll see there's multiple versions of each song because we're doing it in different keys at different campuses. Basically, that is for the stage display. It allows us to use the stage display and put the chords on the stage display, so we don't need sheet music or music stands on the stage or iPads on the stage, so people can be looking out into the congregation and a little bit more engaged. And so that just required us making multiple versions of each song for each key. So then we look in Planning Center and see what keys each campus is doing it in, and then we just put those songs into the playlist. And that process I literally just did in 10 seconds is the added work. So each campus has to just delete the songs out that they don't need. And most campuses, Bayview is the only one that's not doing any of the songs. But other campuses would just see, oh, I'm doing it in this key, but I have also these extra keys, and I'll just click and delete them out. So I only have the keys of the songs that we're doing, if that makes sense. So then the next thing we need to get rid of is, you'll see there's Unstoppable April 25th and Unstoppable Video. The video is what we use for our live stream and for IMAG at our central campus. It has like lower third graphics. I think that's the main thing. Our message points, it's a lower third, like down here, if you can see that. So we don't need this at all. This is only for our McKinley campus. So same idea, if we just click on that, delete it, and now we have the Unstoppable, the version where it's all full screen graphics. So that is, what else? Oh, and pre-service, we have 4 separate pre-service countdown videos for our 4 campuses, because I believe there's a text to give number that's different, and if there's different announcements at each campus, that's why we have separate ones. So in this case, since we're at Bayview, you see the date 4/25/21 _BV, that's for Bayview, SC is for South Creek, SPR is for Springville, MCK is for McKinley. So we can just click, I will click in between the slides here where it's this gray part, click and drag, and you can select these slides and just literally hit delete. And now we have our Bayview pre-service ready to go. And then the welcome is, we have a couple things here from our McKinley campus for the video we don't need. So Steve Dunmeyer, lower third, that can go away. And these text to give, ways to give slides, those can go away. So now it's just that. And then bumper, message, and the dismissal. So the content's there. So the only other thing that we need to do is hit scheduler and add a schedule feature. And I just made a video that goes into depth on how to do this. So if you're interested in how to do that, go ahead and check that out. It goes a little bit more in depth, but I'll just do it real quick here. Scheduler, that playlist, pre-service, 25th, their services at 10:30, 10:30 a.m., enter, and now that's ready to go. So then the only other thing then that should need to be done is the slide lyrics will get added into this here at Bayview. The other campuses obviously have the song slides because I created them and added them in there. And adding the stage display cues, which I also made a video on that. So check that out. And yeah, that's the basics of it. So yeah, If this was helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, or don't, whatever. Hopefully this was helpful. Thanks.